welcome back to another Aquatic Raptor YouTube video, and today I'm gonna finally talk about the Netflix documentary series that came out all the way back in March, the Dinosaurs. Now I know it's like a little too late to talk about it since everyone's kind of moved on, but like, I don't know. Since thanks to my allergies during that time, I wasn't able to make any video, sadly, even if I did. But mostly, I made those videos way before like March or like way before the allergy season. But luckily, with the allergy season, now that it's June, it's over, and I'm starting to recover a lot and feel a lot less, you know, all just allergy craze than back back during those months. I thought before like I think big projects for later this month. Hey, I kind of thought, hey, what if I give the Dino Pals just like a little review of like the Netflix dinosaur series. And this will probably be a very short video since I don't know, I kind of don't want this to be an hour. But and let's cut to the chase and talk about Netflix dinosaurs. We're talking about field trips. All right, let's start. 3, 2, 1.
You would think with the amount of BS the school puts us through, that to be able to take some time away and spend a day somewhere else would be immaculate. Before I ever went on my first field trip, I used to think they were on some magic school bus type ish. But they took us on the most depressing, boring, and brain-shrinking field trips ever. And this played a big part of my life because in my K through 12 years, I went on a total of about 5 field trips. Like, they were rarer than a Ben Simmons bucket. But you already know that every field trip I went on was a family-sized bag of cheeks. So today, we'll be discussing the worst parts about field trips and some of my personal experiences with them. And like and subscribe if you're new. Like I said earlier, I feel like after middle school, we don't even go on field trips anymore.
Well, that's true.
As extinct as the dinosaurs they took us to go see.
Oh yeah, and I talk about the dinosaurs. To be honest, I really like the Netflix dinosaur documentary because it really goes deep on how the origin of dinosaurs and how like they were made and created, on how kind of like the early days of elementary, like and how they start off as just like little lizards that were just gathering around the earth before they became the big reptiles they are. And it was like a whole chaos system. Like other lizards, early lizards who were early dinosaurs were like killing others. It was just chaos. And eventually they would dominate, but I don't know, it would like kind of take time since there was chaos and all that, and yeah, just that, and
Then just out of nowhere, you see a group of your classmates going on a bus to an amusement park or something.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was a one-time thing. Don't get it twisted. And not to mention, my school used to be taxing the hell out of us to go on these field trips. Niggas had to pay a college tuition to go on basic-ass field trips to a museum. Like, I get it. The school had to pay for buses, gas, and shit. But there should be no reason why I had to pay a fucking mortgage for it. The rest of the field trips that I went on must have been chose by Doodle Bob or something, bro. Now we gotta talk about how we had to
and and we know how much a Doodle Bob hates people.
I already had to get up at the crack of dawn and go to school. I come to school with bags deeper than Kobe Bryant. But if I went on a field trip, that shit was like living with insomnia. The moment I put my head down to go to sleep, I had to get right back up to go to school. And when I would get there, we had to wait an extra hour for these slow-ass teachers to put groups together. Not to mention, once we deadass had to wait for one student who decided he wanted to come a week later. If it were up to me, I would have left that nigga in the dust. But they made us wait for one person to come to school. And
no kid left behind going on that anti, like Together Apes Toy Story, no one left behind, but like I don't know, and like those moments they're actually passionate. And I don't think people shouldn't say stuff like that. You shouldn't, especially the boomer teachers, like you shouldn't be saying like that. Only one person gets to say that, and it's not you. Anyways, back to the Netflix dinosaur documentary, and pretty much it really did went into like how dinosaurs were made, created, and how like the early ages of dinosaurs, and really in just how in general dinosaurs were like crafted and how they became the dominant beasts that they're known as today. But they wouldn't be dominating forever and eventually go extinct. But that's a whole topic for another time. Anyways, yeah, and
crazy thing is to me is that the places we would go to would
always
close at
say.
8 p.m. So there was
And
dead
to
ass
be
no reason
honest,
for us to
each
leave so early
dinosaur
to race to
introduced
the
into the
airport. Now
series
we
was
gotta talk
also like a
about the lunches.
dinosaur
Now if you watch
I
that
haven't
video
never
covering school
known of.
lunches, then you already
And
know
also
about
really
the
liking
movie
how
the way they're trying
Steven
to pass off as
Spielberg
food.
worked
So
on
when
this
we would go on these
project.
field trips,
But
all
I
they
have a
would do was
feeling that
fast
this
and
is probably
Instagram
just
them.
like
This meant that
early
pretty much
going for
everybody
like
brought their own
when
lunch. Nobody was
they
gonna go
got
to
new
hospitalized
ideas for like
themselves
Jurassic, for the next Jurassic
food because they were too lazy to
some.
pack their own lunch. And obviously I took full advantage of this situation and brought the most delectable goodies I had. I'm talking Oreos, Doritos, Capri Suns. My brown paper bag was looking like a Nikocado avocado mukbang in this bitch. But the problem is that we couldn't eat till like 5 hours later. We would be walking around all day, but couldn't sit down and regain our energy until it was damn near time to leave. The chaperones would deadass wait until our bodies were fucking see-through until they let us eat. And once we went on this field trip in this forest or something, it felt like them niggas had us looking for Bigfoot. And they made us eat outside. It was muddy and dirty as hell. It looked like everybody had dookie booty afterwards. Not to mention the bugs were jumping the shit out of us like Power Rangers. But regardless, lunch was only one of the slight W's about field trips. Now it's time to talk about the buses. Now I don't know about y'all, but
Buses.
we take a normal bus to a field trip, the bus will look like Pigpen had just threw a party in that motherfucker.
And talk about that anyways. Yeah. And the documentary, it does go into like on how like like some dinosaurs, mostly the dinosaurs face a lot of extinction events. Like one where like a volcano explode. Yeah, obviously the iconic meteor that you guys already know about, but that would only happen at the end of their era. Yeah.
We had an out-of-state trip that we went on. This meant that we got to take a charter bus there. And I remember we were geeked out our fucking minds. We deadass felt like celebrities, bro. And I remember it being the best experience I ever had on a bus. But let me tell y'all this. At the very back of the bus, there was a bathroom.
A random person built like a dinosaur.
Channel, they already know what this honorable act is coming next. While we were coming back from our trip, this big-ass kid, like no exaggeration, he was built like Butterbean. This nigga ran to the back of the bus and went into the bathroom. Everybody looked at the back of the bus in pure terror. We already knew what was coming next. About 15 minutes later, he opened the door, and dear God, the most stomach-turning, nose-hair burning, vomit-inducing smell violated our fucking noses. Oh, and did I forget to mention that the windows on the buses couldn't open? I deadass started
You almost died because freaking Barney, the freaking like a guy built like a freaking Triceratops decided to take a massive Wreck-It Ralph dump that smells like sewage. I'm not gonna even do disgusting. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Whatever. Man, I feel bad. I feel bad for you, GGrimy. Anyways, they talk about stuff like that. Hey, there was a lot of chaos for the dinosaurs. And, during time in solar ball terms of the Earth, let's say the Earth kind of experienced a lot of puberic things. Like, he almost lost the dinos from time to time. And, the rise for the dinos were not very easy. And mostly, Triceratops and Stegosauruses, well, they mainly had a struggle, but even if there's, like, crazy times like this, there was, like, wholesome, like, cute moments in, like, the show, like, this, like, cute little montage, like, all the dinosaurs walking, and, like, the beauty, and just cool flowers sprouting into the spring, and, like, having this cool, like, family vibe of dinos, and, like, it was, like, so cute. I can kind of really understand why kids really like this documentary, which is crazy. A dinosaur documentary. Only stuff I've seen really kids watch or remember at all is like the first Jurassic World movie.
My first teenagers. Them niggas would have had my face looking like a desk in detention. Now we gotta talk about the chaperones that would come with us on these field trips. Little did we know back then, but these were the Karens before they were famous. Firstly, half the us on these field trips. Little did we know back then, but these were the Karens before they were famous. Firstly, half the chaperones would be the teachers themselves, and y'all already know how I feel about my teachers. But the other half would be these kids' parents, and some of them would be cool, but some of them would be the most immoral about my teachers. But the other half would be these kids' parents, and some of them would be cool, but some of them would be the most immoral individuals I've ever came in contact with. They used to be so fucking strict for no reason. I get it. You don't want to lose any kids or have anybody get hurt. But at the same time, let me get on my doorstep.
Yeah, I hate them boomer parents like that. Like they're like they act like freaking Karens, and they're so annoying. And also like they're like hey, to be honest, that feeling whenever you stub your toe and your nail almost gets removed, or you get kicked in the private part, or when like your AirPods randomly come out? Yeah. Yeah, those people, they're basically the physical embodiment of that annoyingness. They're so annoying that I wouldn't be mad at someone that did piss this on them or did their business on them. Just generally just beating them up or blinding them with cameras.
And go explore. Like, they wouldn't let us do anything, and they were always yelling at us for no reason. They were getting mad over the smallest shit. They really thought they were intimidating niggas too. They thought they were making us shake in our boots. But in reality, nobody gave a fuck about them or what they had to say. They deadass made most of my teachers look like heavenly angels. Now that's some shit I never thought I would witness with my pupils. Now we gotta talk about how boring most of the field trips were. I know that most of you have gone on the stereotypical museum field trip. Those were by far the worst field trips. Most of us looked like walking around for hours looking at bones. And most of the time, there was nothing for us to interact with. It was just like window shopping at the mall when you got no bread. Another field trip that I vividly remember was to this village.
Oh yeah, all the old man town village. Oh yeah, with the old people that. Yeah, the medieval times people who definitely were racist or something. Definitely were racist. Just saying. Since during around those times, there's a lot of terrible stuff happening. So I wouldn't have no problem if these people, well, not all the tour guys, but some that are really too much into it are definitely racist. I'm just saying. I was say, speaking about evil people, let's talk about some evil dinosaurs.
And it was pretty much a bunch.
And then talk about the Netflix Dino documentary. Kind of got me reminding of like how much dinosaurs have really come on the TV and big screen, and also just remind me of the Indoraptor. Now with the
40s. It was a bunch of old ass niggas giving lectures about how people lived back then. Like, bro, I really don't care about how old man McGucket was churning butter. And I know y'all also remember the classic zoo field trip. I think this is when I realized how corrupt and twisted zoos were. Like, these niggas were just sitting in their pens like moody teenagers, when in reality they should be out hunting a gazelle or something. They also smelled worse than butter being from the charter bus, which seemed like a damn near impossible feat. But zoo field trips were really just depressing to me. Free my niggas out the pen. And I know y'all remember the merchandise stores that they used to have. Now back then, I had no funds to my name. And like I said earlier, the field trip itself costed a long
Excuse me.
So I never had any money to bring on these field trips. And like I said earlier, the field trip itself costed a lung and a kidney, so I never had any money to bring on these field trips. The chaperones tried their hardest to try and cock block us from going to the stores though. But at the same time, I wasn't really missing out on shit because everything in those stores looked like it fell off the back of a fucking pickup truck. And they had the nerve to be taxing the on shit because everything in those stores looked like it fell off the back of a fucking pickup truck. And
your freaking Toy Story ones. That's crazy.
Just as much as the schools did. They did ask for charging $50 for a stuffed giraffe. I can get the same thing off Amazon for a fifth of the price. And of course, these NPCs that I went to school with were cashing out on all this shit. These museums were really trying to finesse some bands from some 12-year-olds. Put their ass behind bars for life. I also gotta mention what would happen when we would see another school on the same field trip as us. Now, I don't know about y'all, but when we seen a different school district on the same field trip as us, it was on sight. There was more beef than a filet mignon. I remember me and my group of friends pulled up on another group of students and started baking them. But one time it went too far and a fight broke out, and someone from our school folded another kid like Sunday laundry. But by far, the absolute worst part about field trips is the work that we had to do after. You would think that after spending 6 hours at a museum that the teacher would let us go about our jolly way. But these niggas don't believe in peace. After spending a whole day at a science museum, everybody is struggling to stay awake, and they got the nerve to hand me a 5-page packet. And what's crazy is that the packet wouldn't even be about our favorite experiences or anything. There'll be actual work with questions about what they were explaining on the field trip. We would have to write constitution-length essays about how photosynthesis works. My nigga, the whole point that I went on this field trip was to get away from doing this shit. At this point, I should have just stayed at school. And speaking of staying at school, finally, we gotta talk about what it was like staying behind on the field trip when most of the other kids went on it. I remember in middle school, I stayed behind on one field trip, and I was scared to go to school that day. I thought they were gonna make us work. But let me tell you, it was the most divine, soothing, and majestic day I've ever had at school. It was just me, my friend, and some random broad that we don't really care about. But we literally spent the entire day.
What do you mean some random girl?
Me, my friend, and some random broad that we don't really care about. And majestic day I've ever had at school. It was just me, my friend, and some random broad that we don't really care about. But we literally spent the entire day just playing board games and using our phones. A day away from those preposterous people just felt so therapeutic. But speaking about staying behind on the field trips, just jogged my memory about the kids who will get left on the actual field trip. Once we let this kid...
That's crazy, bro. Imagine a kid actually getting lost on a field trip and having to go on some Pixar journey, some Toy Story, Adventure Time, Craig of the Creek adventure to get their way back to the school and back. That'd be crazy. And also, I've in the school would probably get sued. or something for like, I don't know, like leaving a child at like a place, and the parents would probably definitely sue their bottoms and just sue them, huh? And just basically just say, I'm suing you. You left my child there. My child just to die, which I can understand.
Board games using. I know the field trips just jogged my memory about the kids who will get 5 blocks away already. But nobody even realized he was missing, not even his group mates. So we had to spend.
And them group mates were pretty. Well, I'm not the smartest person on earth, but it's not like I would literally leave someone at like a place like that. I'll like remember to bring them, like freaking abandon them. Like what the frick? Like, man, what type of friend group is that?
The block to come pick him up. I don't think he really cared, and that probably should have been a lawsuit, but hey, I'm not the feds. I think that's going to cover everything in this video, man. And once again, that probably should have been a lawsuit, but hey, I'm not the feds.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, field trips, well, to be honest, are obviously terrible. Not all, but
in this video, man.
Some
and once
are.
Again,
Ow.
this is just another
Some are, but some aren't, and just being honest, but at the end of the day, frick field trips, and I think going on a road trip to Miami with freaking, I can't believe I'm saying this, but with Sexy Red and a random drunken Irish guy and freaking Ariana Grande would probably be better than a field trip. Like, I don't know.
Episode in the School is Shitty Chronicles. Thank y'all for watching and showing so much love and support to the channel, man. Thank y'all, truly. Comment down below the worst experience that you ever had on a field trip, and like, subscribe if you're new, man, because we're taking over 2023, man. You might as well join the family. Also, let me know what you want to see next down in the comments below. I hope this video finds you in good spirits. I'm GGrimy. It's been real.
Bye,
I'm out. I love y'all. Stay up. Peace.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was at the end of the day, it was a pretty good video. And indeed, you know what? Hey, pretty good. And let's continue off with the video. And hey, while this book talks about kids, let's talk about the early days of dinos getting to their mid-air. Anyways, in the documentary, it mainly went about on how,
the book fair.
Yeah, cool. Anyways, about like dinosaurs that even when I was younger I didn't even know exist. Like it went on like about like compy versions of like younger compies, like early ones, and like on how like the T-Rex each era was like a small
etc.
but like evolved
parts about being a prepubescent fetus is definitely recess. Being able to escape from the confinements of your classroom and enjoy your freedom was definitely a top tier experience as a kid. So today we'll be discussing the best and probably some of the worst parts about recess. Comment down below the best or the most nostalgic part about your recess as a kid, and like and subscribe if you're new. First, we gotta talk about tag. Tag was probably the best part about recess, and as one of the fastest students, it was the highlight of my day. But it was so annoying when you would hunt a nigga down like Michael Myers, and they would pull out that bullshit excuse talking about, I'm not even playing. My nigga, I was just chasing you for longer than a Final Fantasy cutscene. And you also got the kids who try to call timeouts when they're about to get caught. They would call a timeout, walk away a couple feet, and then yell time in. At that point, he's gonna play jump rope or something, bro. And also the kid who tried to make every piece of equipment a base, and that they were safe. And to all my fellas out there, chasing your crush was the biggest flex back then. Another thing that came with playing tag was, and to all my fellas out there, chasing your crush was the biggest flex back then. Another thing that came with playing
back
tag
when you were younger. I don't really care about romance love because you know what? It's not worth my time. It's not worth it. Let's say better stuff. Instead of that, I can focus on like other ways of love, like family love, and not like the Alabama, but actually.
The cheese touch. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lecture y'all niggas about what the cheese touch was and how revolutionary it was for us back then. Go do your research. But they had our school in the cheese touch was and how revolutionary it was for us back then. Go do your research.
Yeah, Hey, talking about that, let's sidetrack a little and see the history of the cheese touch and where it came from. I have a bad feeling I already know where this came from. But let's just do it for funsies. See, it all originated from the Dire Wimpy Kid franchise, which is probably something you probably already knew about, but hey, it's iconic. It's iconic, so this generally did become iconic, and this cheese did become a staple of the Wimpy Kid franchise. Oh, and it's crazy that there was people trying to redo it again, and even the teachers hated it. And oh yeah, let's talk about the history of the cheese touch. Let's go. Drum roll, please.
When or how? What? Good God!
Say it.
Good God, man! Almost got
the cheese touch.
Seriously appeared on the kid named Dead and Watch. Buddy threw it away, and so nobody touched it. Nobody threw it away. Belonged to. Nobody touched it.
It's just a cheese coming from some random kid's lunchbox. So this random kid dropped this cheese from his lunchbox and then went to go grab his cheese. And then everyone decided to bully him.
Then one day,
since this is middle school after all, everyone in middle school is kind of a to say this in family-friendly terms, kind of a jerk, kind of rude. It just kind of likes to make fun of everyone. Basically treats everyone like trash, but this is middle school.
a kid named Dead and
So don't take the cheese touch thing really seriously. And
I just looked at it, really! Dead had the cheese touch. It was worse than nuclear cookies. He became an outcast.
which shouldn't be really taken seriously.
And brother turning on sister. It was madness. Until a German exchange student named Dieter Mueller took it away.
Dieter hat the cheese touch. Cheese touch? Dieter versteht nicht. Warum rennt ihr? Was soll das heißen, der cheese touch?
Sadly for Dieter, that fact was lost in translation. Thankfully, he moved back to Düsseldorf and took the cheese touch with him.
Man, to be honest, these kids are kind of jerks. They bullied someone who didn't even speak English and who was just German and still learning English. And then just imagine you're someone else from another country, like someone from like France, and you just learn something, and some random kid's like, I gave you the cheese touch, and you're like, what the frick are you talking about? And just imagine, like, you're just a random kid, moving from somewhere. And then some random kid's like, I got you the cheese touch. Take that, you stupid blah. And you're like, what the frick are you talking about? What the frick is the cheese touch? And then you got bullied all your life. And then when you moved, everyone bullies you. You're like, what was everyone talking about? And your parents don't, it's kind of terrible. It's kind of terrible. No one in the school takes care of this. Like, shouldn't a teacher be like, alright, for Christ's sake, you kids, this cheese is just rotted cheese. But to be honest, I think the best one who finally puts this down is Greg Heffley. And since this is Greg Heffley we're talking about, mostly most stuff with this kid is not really taken seriously. Since, just ignoring this, since, Greg, when first starting off the series, he's kind of rude. But anyways, let's start off on how he finally told everyone to stop with this cheese touch uh garbage, and to stop bullying kids and separating them all just because some stupid cheeses stupid cheese that some random kid dropped one day. I feel bad for this kid.
Waiting. And so the cheese sits, patiently waiting for its next victim.
Christ's sake. I'm at least thankful Greg does not take this seriously. He's like, what the frick is this kid? Because General the Darwin began. But I'll just sum this up with Greg's iconic speech in this film and journaling the whole franchise, because the whole scholar books, the last childhood Gen Z cheese touch thing wouldn't have ended unless it wasn't for Greg Heffley. Now I don't think George and Harold could have stopped it, because I don't know. I guess they wouldn't really care about it, or maybe move back to their old school. Anyways, let's talk. Greg's iconic speech. No, but the OG movie. Oof, that. Until he tells these jerks that it's just a piece of cheese. You shouldn't be bullying people all just because we're this. And it was again to. Sorry, just dang. Sorry. It's been a long time since I sat in this chair. It's starting to get real uncomfortable. Final scene, which is, as iconic as the ending. Or better called Greg stands up for his best friend rally, which I really like when in movies when someone's best pal or someone they grow on over with the film, it's like treated like dirt. And instead of the person progressing back who they were at the beginning of the film, they improved and learned to become a better person. And Greg finally tells the whole school, like, since I can't find the clip, let me just say it for you, like, no, you random kids. You gotta stop bullying someone. Like, you are ruining people's lives and treating others like monsters. All just because of a stupid piece of cheese that some random kid was too lazy to pick up. You just bums. Stop bullying people. End the cheese touch. End it. Oh. This stupid cheese has been causing us to treat each other like monsters. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be caring for each other and love instead. So you know what? I don't care. It's just a cheese. I don't care. I have the cheese touch. And Riley doesn't care. Nobody should. And eventually at that point, you think in reality, someone will be like, you know what? I'm done playing this childish game and matured. But you know, since it's middle school, everyone acts like babies and like, and they all run away. Damn. Forget. But you know, this is middle school, alright? What did you expect? Of course, they all run off like freaking Rugrats, and yeah, that just really proves how much middle school is, and definitely that middle school in the kid universe. But you know, this is middle school, and you know, children are children, just like God, I hate children. Anyway, yeah. Let's move on from all that chaos to, you know, back to this. Oh yeah, real life of when this actually happened, which luckily someone could actually stop and actually tell someone to, like, can you please stop this cheese touch garbage? Hey, cool. Yeah, but you know what, hey, I'm always happy that at the end of the movie, at least Greg, he tells everyone to shut up. Well, generally just to like stop treating others like garbage, all just because of stupid piece of cheese. Good on you, Greg. Only if you act that a lot more in the series and act less of Jack Apples and more of like a person, and ignore this poster. This poster looks freaking ugly. But hey, to be honest, at the end of the day, at least Greg matured, you know. Only if you would actually do that more. You know, act more like a decent, better person. Oh, I don't know. I think I like that Greg Heffley more than, I don't know, just being honest. Anyways,
So going back to real life. And yelling cheese touch at the highest decibel known to man. And the only way you can protect yourself from getting the cheese touch is if you cross your fingers. And of course you had the kids that were always capping about their fingers being crossed. And the continuity was insane. Like that shit would last longer than a Fast and Furious series. You would be walking through the hallway without a care in the world and knowing that you gave the cheese touch to someone a month ago. But you better say 10 toes and hope somebody doesn't catch you lacking, because all of a sudden you'll see a nigga running at supersonic speeds to give you the cheese touch. A clutch maneuver that always worked for me in elementary school was pretending that I had to sharpen my pencil and I would touch someone on my way up there. These were the harmless trends that us kids back then were doing instead of being fake ass handy mannies and making corn drills and shit. Now we gotta talk about racing. Now, like I said earlier, as a kid who ran track, this is usually the highlight of my day. But there was an unwritten code in my elementary school that whoever ran the fastest had immeasurable amounts of ribs and had every girl falling free. A kid could literally throw a pair of scissors at the teacher, but that nigga did win the race yesterday, so I guess he gets a pass. You wanna run that by me again? I don't know which of our 10 brain nigga did win the race yesterday, so I every girl falling free. A kid could literally throw a pair of scissors at the teacher, but that nigga did win the race yesterday, so I guess he gets a pass. You wanna run that by me again? I don't know which of our 10 brain cells decided that popularity and clout was based on who was faster, but I'm not complaining. Now we gotta talk about the playground. No matter how hard you tried, you could never avoid getting these wood chips in your shoes. I remember once I came home from school, and when I took off my shoe, the amount of wooden chips that poured out of my shoe could have made an entire new playground in my living room, bro. And if you ever fell in that shit, you might as well start writing your will. They would peel your skin off like a fucking banana. And of course, there would always be that one insidious ass nigga that would throw them like fucking shurikens at the rest of the students. And I know y'all remember the metal and plastic slides that would reach temperatures of about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It was literally like sitting on the oven. I felt like Charizard had just hit that shit with a flamethrower from hell. If you decide to go down these slides with shorts on, then you better not let an inch of your skin make contact with that shit, because it'll have your ass looking like Freddy Krueger in 5 seconds. They really had us sliding on baking sheets, bro. I vividly remember going down that slide with shorts on, and that shit cooked my legs well done with the side of asparagus. The plastic slides also doubled as tasers and shocked you more than Spider-Man. The swings were also top tier. We really were out there busting our ass after swinging off them, bro. There was always kids trying to pull off Simone Biles ass moves and would land face first into the wood chips. But there was no better vibe than getting on the swing and getting higher than Flight Reacts. And if you didn't twist the chains of the swing until they were tighter than Joel Embiid's braids, then you weren't tapped in for real. And you already know if you climbed on top of the monkey bars, then you were automatically king of recess. The monkey bars is also where a lot of the lame ass kids were gossiping and shit. And underneath the slide is where some of the kids played house. But as a nigga with some decency, I never partook in those heinous activities. Now we gotta talk about Foursquare. Now even this game could turn the most innocent, wholesome student into a malicious, spiteful.
I was there back to the dinosaur documentary. And I got sidetracked off with the cheese touch thing. Anyways, they talk about chaos. And for the dinos, and mainly chaos started when the mammals, little mammals came in and started like,
they drew the most lopsided, crooked, and contorted lines ever. Like one box would then be the size of EDP and the other would be the size of Consonant. And there were constant fights due to this game, bro. There were more arguments than a divorced couple. I also got to give a shout out to kickball because that definitely deserves a mention. It was always fun regardless of that lopsided ass ball that would always end up on the roof by the time recess was over. The roof on the school had collected more balls than Tiana Trump. Now I don't know where y'all niggas reside, but where I live, we get a moderate amount of snow every winter. And of course, we did all the classic things in the snow, like making snow angels and whatnot. But there were two things that we always looked forward to every winter at recess. The first thing was making snowballs. Now, if you were going to try to pull this off, you had to be low-key. So every time we knew the eyes were off of us, we would throw snowballs at each other like Brady in 2017. The other thing we enjoyed doing during recess was climbing these Mount Everest-sized hills made of snow. Or at least we thought. Because when someone tried to climb it, they stepped on a piece of solid ice. That nigga tumbled down the side of the hill like Cameron. He sat there for a couple seconds, and we thought we'd just watch someone send himself to the afterlife. But then he popped back up like nothing happened. But after that, we weren't allowed to play on those hills ever again. Now we gotta talk about the water fountains. Now look, I know typically the water that comes out of these repulsive contraptions usually makes my stomach want to rock. But back then, that shit was like crack. No matter how hot it was in the school, that water stayed cold. And once that motherfucker started to shake, you already know it was gonna dispense the crispiest, coldest, thirst-quenching water of all time. It was deadass better than Gatorade. Especially after putting up prime Jerry Rice numbers at recess, that water always hit different after putting up 9 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and 240 yards. And of course, there were the Karens in training that would always try to control how much time people spent at the water fountain. Talking about 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Yeah, those Karens, they're freaking, well, look, I've met my fair share of Karens, and, oh boy, they're beaches, and this is how you can tell a Karen, so, Exhibit A. Exhibit B. You have no idea how to do that. What? Yeah. And if they do weird things with the, yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. Yeah, since guys, stay family friendly. YouTube, please do not go for my channel. Please, I'm begging YouTube. You already copyright strike my channel. Please do not go anywhere. Please, YouTube, please. I promise to not. And also this. What the frick is? They made a Mean Girls drink? Whatever, what do I expect? Well, the main character of that girl is a white chick. So, what do I expect? This comes from a dude that's obviously not white and obviously black, African American. And yeah, so, seeing stuff like this. Now, Starbucks as a brand, I don't hate Starbucks as a brand. I'm just not really into them. I'm more of a Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme guy myself, but Starbucks, I don't really hate them, but their fan base, the main consumers that consume them, I don't like them. They're annoying, they're weird, and also can't forget Exhibit C. I'm typing a certain person for no exact reason. Fricker. Go to hell. Hell, you beach. Go to hell. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Alright guys, I wanted the whole tangent right there for a sec. Just, kind of got a little sidetracked off those beaches. Anyways, hey, let's get back to...
But always trying to control how much time people spend at the water fountain. Talking about 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Man, shut
up. Water even hit my lips yet. I had niggas trying to take my spot like Gideon. But the worst part about using water fountains was being behind and hit my lips yet. I had niggas trying to take my spot like Gideon. But the worst part about using...
Like, fuck people like that. They're freaking annoying. And thankfully, I'm at least happy when someone at least tells these people, like, what, like, shut the frick up and, like, cool. Hey, and, like, stop talking.
Water fountains was being behind the kid that would turn into a fucking throat goat and shove the entire spout down his esophagus. If I was there behind
and now even these people, they're now weirder.
I would just go the rest of the day with the throat drier than a Popeye's biscuit. Because I'd rather deal with that than God knows what disease or mutation I could get by using the fountain after that nigga. I never understood these people had the balls to put their entire orifice on this thing, bro. Their stomach's gotta be lined with tungsten because there's no way they weren't fighting demons on that toilet. Now we gotta talk about the supervisors. Their main purpose was to drain any fun that we were having at recess. They really were moving around like they were the fucking SWAT team or something. They were walking around that bitch like they were feared and made it their mission to make our lives not worth living. You ain't no drill sergeant. Sit your decrepit ass down. And they always had a fucking whistle for no reason. My nigga, who
those people.
They were blowing it more than Joe Foster. Pause. Like they were really yelling at us for running too fast and chasing each other. We were outside, let me have my freedom. But by far the most devious act these niggas would commit.
They try to round up everyone like some fake ass. Well, fake apples, sheepdog.
Before going out to recess. They always thought that they were a preacher or something, waiting on mine. Even already wasted half our time by sitting here talking to us. And they used to do the same thing before we could come back inside. We had to get in 2 lines and couldn't go back in until we were in straight lines and were quiet. It didn't matter how hot or cold it was. The niggas would make us sit there and bake outside in the heat like some of grandma's cookies. And of course there were the 2 kids at the back of the line that were cracking jokes and making us wait outside even longer. Now we gotta talk about the different students at recess. First there was the snitch. Now we already had to deal with the supervisors that were up our ass more than a wedgie. But enjoying recess became mission impossible when you had to dodge the snitches. They would literally lurk after people and try to catch them doing something. I really never thought that Randall from recess was a real person until I experienced it for myself. There was also that weird group of kids that pretended like they were cats or wolves. They would crawl around the playground on all fours and start hissing at niggas like cockroaches or something. Speaking of cockroaches, there were also the kids that collected bugs at recess. I don't know why these niggas thought that these alarming acts were fun and entertaining in any way. They were really some fake ass mighty bees in this bitch. Talking about, you want to see the beetles I collected? Bro,
you take that centipede or else into a local landfill where it'll be incinerated. Crazy person.
Badass little kid that always spent the entire recess period standing against a wall.
Weird ass kid. Anyways, they talking about the dino era. And luckily those things went long extinct with the dinos. Well, I wish some did and some didn't. I wish the only bugs that were still around were bees, ants, and fireflies and ladybugs. That's pretty much it. Normal bees, black ants, fireflies, and ladybugs. That's it. Those are the only bugs I don't hate unless they're in my house. Ants, bees, you need to get out of my house right now. Ladybugs, oh no, you're not really a big deal. I can still kill you, but I can just contain you. But you got the point, all right? Every other bug should have gone extinct with the dinos.
Or tree. They usually were the kids who try to actively dismember limbs from the other students. They always had some type of bruise on their elbow that looked like this. And they probably had a buzz cut and picked their nose more than Ralph Wiggum. It's like these niggas were cosplaying No David or something. But if you see one of these variants trying to join you at recess, just know your life may be cut short. There were also the girls who just walked around aimlessly and usually got in the way of whatever game we were playing. Then they wanted to threaten to tell on all of us when they get hit with the ball. They were usually the stucco girls who thought they controlled everything. I also want to shout out Pokemon cards and silly bands. Niggas was moving weight during recess like Pablo Escobar. But hey, I think that's gonna cover everything for this video, man. Thank you and wait during recess like Pablo Escobar. But hey, I think that's gonna cover everything for this video, man.
But at the end of the day, the only people I hate here are cheese touch people, snitches, annoying Karen, grown up people, and the control freak daddy's girls.
For watching and comment down
Frick
below
them
the
all. We can all go to hell. Oh.
Worst experience that you ever had at recess. Let me know what you want to see from me next. And make sure you like and subscribe if you're new over here, man. Join the family. We growing. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for the love y'all been showing. I hope this video finds y'all in good spirits. Let me know what y'all want to see next. I'm GGrimy. It's been real. I'm out. I love y'all. Peace.
And we'll say that's from that GGrimy video. Plus, but to be honest, a great, just like I said earlier before I was interrupted, a great example of a couple is Diotis and Emma Crucci. They're a couple that respect each other on good terms, and they kind of look cute in this fan art. It's cringe, but I don't know. Also, just thinking of these cutie patooties just reminded me of a certain other couple. What they were? No, not those guys. Not you, Emma Crucci. You're actually good, but not these three. These three, yeah. You're good. And I'm happy that she at least has a boyfriend that likes her, who she is. And like, even if this fan art doesn't look cute, like, at least they love each other. That's something. And like, well, obviously since they live in Japan, since they're Japanese, live in Japan. But like, even if they do, I don't know. I wonder how their lives is. Obviously, coming from someone that's never been to Japan, the only Japan experience I've gotten, not really, is just watching Cars 2. In this collision of wow, which is a classic indeed. Any Cars 2 hater, click off this video. Get out of my town. Get out of my channel. Go watch some other YouTuber. Go watch This Beach. Go watch her. She probably hates Cars 2, or her, Mama Crucci. Yeah, she probably doesn't hate Cars. I don't know. It was sorry, got sidetracked. Let me show you a better other couple. These two. These two are just cute. No, this guy, it's gonna be, this dude right here. Champ, the man MVP. This guy makes pretty good videos. At first glance, you may think, he just seems like your typical basketball built like dude. But nah, don't judge. Don't judge a book by its cover. Sure, fan art for that might draw him some, I don't know, cool. But like, generally, he's no different than you and me. He's goofy. He's kind of like the real life version of like Jack Frost. Seems tough, but like, TOUGH, or it's not the other way. Wait, just for them Gen Alpha kids who are, if they're watching this, to, understand. Different tough. There's the brain rot way of you landfill kids say, and there's the actual normal way. I'm gonna just spell it out for you. TOUGH. That word. Anyways, like. And also, talking about this guy, he actually has a girlfriend that he actually had conflict with. Actually, had two girlfriends, but back when he was younger. And now, he had one who was like a random girl. Beach, I forgot her name. Let's just call her Chloe Bailey for the sake of this video. And he had another one, and let's name her Rebecca for the sake of something. Rebecca. So, one was obviously, one girl was a black girl and the other girl was a white girl. And I know there's gonna be some, hopefully not some racist hellbell people watching this video, but if you are, let me tell you this romantic story between these, well, both sides. That, that to prove that your stance is that not always that, black dudes and white girls, like, they can date. Anyone are different, since love isn't about race. It's about connection. Feeling connected with a person, and he did feel connected with her. Sure, he was indeed goofy. He's no different than you and me. But she chose him over because he was sweet, he was kind, he was nice, and he was respectable and saw her as a person. And, she basically talked about the other dudes she's interacted. And half of those guys were creeps or billion-dollar billionaires that only saw her as, like, just an object that they can, like, wow, don't you think she's pretty? She's so blah, blah, blah. She's so hot. Like, yeah, but thank God. Sure, this dude obviously just said that he was in love with her, but I don't know, obviously, they're kind of sweet. Like, and like, they took their time. Because even to prove me my case and not say that I just made this whole story up with his girlfriend, let me prove you goofy goobers. Her, see, Rosie Racer. Now this girl, she's had many experience with creepy dudes. Like this guy that tried to educate the children, let's say, tried to, you know what Titan was doing in Megamind when he was being a weirdo and stalking Roxanne and wanting to do inappropriate stuff with her, but I'm not gonna say not to traumatize or be inappropriate. But generally, the dude was a weirdo, just like Titan. And, kind of like in how different this dude and Chandler is. This dude did not know how to talk to girls. Well, Chandler saw Rose as more as human than this guy did. Also, this guy was generally creepy and both, like, and plus, dude had a freaking young woman coworker. Like, maybe he could have done stuff with her. I'm not gonna say it since there's probably children watching this video and I gotta say it appropriate. So yeah, maybe he could have started dating her Shrek style. But no, Bud couldn't, like, date people his age. Like, I don't know. Also, like, there are so many grown people your age. Like great looking 40-year-old women like her, or attractive women out there that look a day, like, I'm trying, but like, are the same age as you and you can date. Alright, as long as you respect them and treat them as a human being. Care for them. But like, you choose the let me just
type of woman. But I can never date someone that young.
Oh, yeah. She's too young for that sort of thing.
Yeah, she is. I just wish she was a couple years older. I mean, she's exactly my type of woman. But I can never date someone that young.
Oh, yeah. She's too young for that sort of thing.
Yeah, she is.
First off, I want to say thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. Actually, what the hell, that was so sudden. I am so immensely appreciative of all of you and the support you gave me on my last video. Anyways, today is kind of a heavy story since 16-year-old me was basically...
Yeah. This, your typical story. This
but
guy...
I can never date someone that young.
Yeah, this guy, he instead decided, instead of, being obviously with someone who is his age, the right person, in the wise words of Tommy NFG, like, bro, my bud, why are you dating a high schooler, you creep? Like, there are so many grown women, but you had to choose the girl that was still in still in college. You freak. Disgusting. Still, like, young. And, like, just becoming an adult. You freak. Freaking. The coincidence is that this dude right here almost just for some reason, almost looks like Andy from Toy Story 3. But if, remove the wholesomeness and him being a good person and him having the beard, and I don't know if he never had Woody and Buzz to teach him the right lesson. So, hey, maybe this is what Andy would have become if, Woody and Buzz weren't there for him. So, thankfully, they were there for him to stop him from becoming this kind of creep. Luckily, they taught him to, not stalk women or not kidnap people or not be a creep or evil. Basically that. So yeah, but that's just the me thing. That's the me thing. Anyways, whatever. I'm not, of course, gonna watch this whole video, speed running it to explain the story.
Oh, yeah. She's
yeah. Anyways, let's cut to the chase. Yeah. This dude tried to do some inappropriate stuff with this girl. Yeah, really, whatever. Let me just cut to the chase. Anyways, the video continued off of, I've actually watched it. Let me just get to the point. Anyways, the video continued off of him taking her to his apartment, and then eventually, yada yada, he eventually tried to do something appropriate with her, and then after that, she eventually stopped, and he got drunk, and she eventually left his place, and yeah, and to be honest, and this all happened in Subway. Yep, the same place the Odd Ones Out considers his whole career that started off. Wait. Yep. Subway or Subway. Just hopefully can't say that since he's probably annoyed. Anyways, that same place where the Odd Ones Out career started, the same place where it's generally wholesome and generally all that. It's the same place where a pedophile tried to date a 16-year-old. Yeah. And I thought Chick-fil-A was the only place where creepy stuff like that. Yeah, there's actually another story of someone being a creep to a certain young person in a Chick-fil-A, but, that's a story for another time, You do your own research, I ain't your mom or dad, alright? Look it up. Alright, look it up on your own time after you're done with this video. Anyways, I ain't gonna tell you. Alright, plus, I don't want to traumatize. Plus, this video isn't about, pedophiles. This video is about me watching some GGrimy videos and talk about the Dinosaurs documentary. Anyways, let's just cut to the chase. So she left those guys, dated him, and yada yada yada, and they've been, dating for a long time. And she even has an Instagram. Wow. Cool. Anyways, yeah, cool for her. Obviously, I'm not gonna go down this Instagram rabbit hole since, I'm not getting there. Whatever. Anyways, let's just get back to the GGrimy video. Got sidetracked. Anyways, in conclusion, those are the better couples. And also, I forgot to mention Brody Animates and his girlfriend Izzy. But they're a couple to say for another time. Plus, their story is just more normal compared to normal, kind of average compared to I don't know, well, not really. Gucci and her boyfriend are, Chandler and his girlfriend. As I sidetrack off there, anyways, let me get back to the video.
Are some of the most narcissistic people on the internet, bro. And then you got the weird couples who post these over-sexualized videos, which is really
we already went over that.
Really bizarre because their fan bases are literal children. Now we gotta talk about public interviews. Videos, which is really bizarre because their fan bases are literal children. Now we gotta talk about public interviewers. I swear, these niggas come out the woodwork like some fucking cicadas. I'll just be walking around the mall with interviewers. I swear, these niggas come out the woodwork like some fucking cicadas. I'll just be walking around the mall window shopping because my pockets are filled with more air than Earth's atmosphere. And all of a sudden, the motherfucker looks like he time traveled from 2016, comes up to me using his phone as a microphone talking about gay son or thought daughter. My nigga, if you don't get away from me before I get Paul up to me using his phone as a microphone talking about gay son or thought daughter. My nigga, he time traveled from 2016, comes up to me using his phone as a microphone talking about gay son or thought daughter. My nigga, if you don't get away from me before I get Paul Blart on your ass, but these niggas I'm talking about gay son or thought daughter. My nigga, if you don't get away from me before I get Paul Blart on your ass, but these niggas imply on asking the most derogatory and degrading questions known to mankind. Light skins or dark skins, kiss or grab, smash or pass. Can you rate us on a scale of 1 to 10? Are you a freak? Bro, I really can't help but get secondhand embarrassment when I see shit like this. It's like my spidey senses start tingling, letting me know this video's already about to be on some bullshit. I really feel like women get the short end of the stick when it comes to these public interview videos. Like, do y'all remember that video that nigga asked Ice Spice if he can make her? Yeah. Thanos, just go ahead and snap, bro. I'll take my chance. Do y'all remember that video that nigga asked Ice Spice if he can make her? Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. I'm not gonna go into that. Children, if you're watching this, you'll understand what GGrimy is saying when you get older. Oh, you will. But hey, for your innocence, we will not get into this. Alright, I've already gotten enough sidetracked.
Thanos, just go ahead and snap, bro.
Yeah, please snap.
And for all y'all niggas that ask Ice Spice if he can make her, yeah. Thanos, just go ahead and snap, bro. I'll take my chance. Yeah. And for all y'all niggas that be wearing fake ice, stay clear away from the mall because these motherfuckers will dart you down at record-breaking speeds to test your diamonds. Bro, these niggas really be trying to get more information out of you than the FBI. How much your fit cost? What's your body count? Bro, I'm just trying to get a pretzel and go about my day, but now I gotta worry about some fake-ass TMZ paparazzi trying to interrogate me. Now we gotta talk about the 3 a.m. videos. These are similar.
Thank God. You know, hey, compared to any of all the other YouTubers here, which were pedophiles, creeps, and just not all of them, but some, the 3 a.m. ones are a lot more chiller. They're just less, at least they're less inappropriate, and compared to all the other YouTubers, they're mildly tame. They're more chiller. They're just like, you know, and not all of them, but, you know, at least
fucking Halloween edition, but the amount of different variants that these are similar to the clickbait videos except they're fucking Halloween edition, but the amount of different variants that these motherfuckers come up with never fails to bewilder me. Don't call Among Us at 3 a.m. Making slime at 3 a.m. Don't summon EDP at 3 a.m. Gone wrong. FaceTiming Boss Baby at 3 a.m. Gone hood. The views that these niggas generate gotta come from bots, bro. And then the video will just be somebody roaming aimlessly around their house in the dark with some alpha pics ass sound effects. But these kooky ass skip body roaming aimlessly around their house in the dark with some Alfred Hitchcock ass sound effects. But these kooky ass
skits ain't funny how terrible
that bad compared to the next set of videos I'm about to do.
That's terrible. That's like, to be honest, it's funny how terrible 3 a.m. videos are.
True to you. Those videos where a celebrity would pass away and these greedy motherfuckers would make a skit where they would call them. Bro, I really think this was the beginning of people doing anything for clout on YouTube. Like, how fucking distorted does your brain have to be to do some shit like this? I vividly remember one where somebody pretended to call and text Kobe after he passed away. And then they be spamming these videos with ads left and right. These are also usually the motherfuckers who do them fake ass giveaways for an iPhone or a PlayStation that never actually happened. But I'm a firm believer that karma will hit these niggas harder than Adam 22's wife got hit with the Spine Shatter 3000. I guess I should also mention those egregious apology videos that make me want to have a staring contest with the sun. The dramatic ass lighting of the piano music somehow make the video even worse. And we all know about the crocodile tears these niggas so desperately try to seek out. And I know I said I wasn't mentioning any specific YouTuber, but Miss Colleen Ballsack, you outdid yourself on this one. Her goblin built ass really tried to fight the accusations with a fucking musical single, bro. She really thought that she was Trent from Total Drama. How does EDP give a better apology than you, bro? Put her ass underneath the jail, man. She was Trent from one. Her goblin built ass.
Yeah, frick this beach. Yeah, I agree with you, but this girl's trying to sing these roundup bootleg song trying to avoid. Everybody, please forgive me. I didn't do inappropriate stuff with children. But like, nah. And just like Dimeball, this woman, and even back before this, she was kind of ugly. Like, and I don't get it. And even the video where she was interviewing someone, She was calling some of the weird them. And like the Honorable said, I don't care about calling her other than how far away she should stay away from school zones. Acting like weird, acting like you haven't stalked down and tried to do inappropriate stuff with children. Freak.
Really tried to fight the accusations with a fucking musical single, bro. She was trapped in trauma. How does EDP...
Yeah, it's kind of shocking. Like, how does freaking this pedophile...
He give a better apology than you, bro. Put her ass underneath the jail.
Yeah, put her and her bootleg, terrible You Got a Friend in Me song. That'll never be the real You Got a Friend in Me song in prison. And also, like I said, her Friend in Me song.
Man, real shit. But I think it's gonna wrap everything up for this video, man. Comment down below the worst type of content on YouTube or the worst YouTube video. Do whatever you want to do, man. Something related to the video. Like, subscribe if you're new, join the family. We going crazy, man. 2023 takeover is in full effect, baby. Come on now, come on. But I appreciate all the love y'all been showing. You know, this is just the beginning. And, you know, I never take anything for granted. I know it's every video. That's because I want to keep, you know what I'm saying, reiterating it. You know what I'm saying? We got some heat coming in the future. But thank y'all for watching. I hope this video finds you in good spirits. I'm GGrimy. It's been real. I'm out. I love y'all. Peace.
Yep. Alright. Now, it's time for the last GGrimy video. And then we're going to get into the real main thing of this video. The dinosaur documentary. Anyways, hey guys. Hey, I'm back. Sorry. I had to take a little bathroom break, but I'm back. Anyways, hey guys, change your plans. I've decided instead of watching a GGrimy video, I'm gonna watch a little bit of Madagascar too. And then we're gonna enter the main dinosaurs video. You know, the main part of the video that probably all of you were waiting for.
And let's get into it. I want everyone else to do what I say. We'll fight on 3. 1. Pay attention, alligator. Daddy gonna show you how it's done. 2, 3.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, little baby Alex.
The Dinosaurs 2026 is the latest in dinosaur documentaries on Netflix, produced by Amblin Documentaries and Silverback.
Mostly people that, you know, made the Jurassic films, which could obviously explain the, you know, Jurassic photo look like go more of like rounded style like look. So it looks less like a little bit of the Jurassic franchise and more of like a My Pet Dinosaur Australian photographs. Like, has anyone watched My Pet Dinosaur? Anyone here? I have watched it. It's a pretty underrated movie. It's basically Clifford the Big Red Dog, but if you like, instead of a British blonde white girl, it's instead about an Australian boy, and he actually gets a pet dinosaur that he brings back to life through chemicals, alien, asteroid goo, and hopefully I did not say that in a weird way. And also a soda. Yeah, he brings back an alien life with Coca-Cola. Yeah, that's the plot. But you know, My Pet Dinosaur. That's a movie to save for another day. Let's get back. Here's the Netflix documentary.
Apologies. This series feels like a genuine breath of fresh air from what has previously been.
What the frick is that?
I'm not talking just about the recent Walking with Dinosaurs, but the last few documentaries in general. The overuse of the Cretaceous period, the same old dinosaur species, the mixing of modern day footage spliced in between, and whatever the hell this documentary was trying to be. This felt like a proper old school dino doc. I'm talking like late 90s, early 2000s. We not only get the Jurassic period, but the goddamn freaking Triassic too. And because of that, we get to see so many dinosaurs. Dilo, my beloved.
Hey, let's go. The Dilophosaur.
And the best part
is, baby! The Dilophosaur!
No modern cuts to present day.
Thank God.
No drawn out paleontology scenes. It is just dinosaurs.
Yeah, it's just dinosaurs, which, to be honest, it's seemed like it's been... No, it's kind of been the same complaints with the Monsterverse. It's crazy that we both got the Jurassic franchise and Monsterverse, that the main focus that people want are dinosaurs and kaijus, not boring human side plots. Now, unlike the Monsterverse humans, I don't really hate the Jurassic franchise humans. I obviously love them. Just like, you know, we want the movies to focus on dinosaurs. You know, the main thing you put on the poster, Universal, dinosaurs. You know, dinosaurs. Like, everybody on the floor, everybody's here for dinosaurs. Like, yeah, dinos and whatever. So the point, let me just get back to the documentary. So the point this dude's saying is that, you know, this whole documentary here gives the vibe of like an old 90s 2000 book or something you would like read or see or like in a class. Hopefully I did not want to remind anyone of a school, but like less like middle high school type stuff and more like maybe elementary to early middle school, something like that, like from elementary to like 6th or 7th, something like that. So yeah,
that's how you make a dinosaur documentary. Now, is this show perfect? No, there are still flaws with it. Okay.
Also it being a little too creepy. But like, I don't know, I think it gives the fact on how much dangerous some dinosaurs were. Well, they're like some calming, chill dinos. There's some like dangerous dinosaurs, like some pterodactyls, especially this Quetzalcoatlus, trying to eat this baby Brachiosaurus or baby Acrosaurus.
But man, does it feel like this.
Also, this random crocodile and Allosaurus going on a beef fight.
It's a huge step.
Well, early crocodile, since obviously this is a modern day crocodile. This is a early. You get the point, alright? I'm not gonna state the status for you of early animals to dinosaurs. Alright, I'm not your mom. You can search it up. Do your own research. Look it up.
Step in the right direction.
Back to the video.
And it's awesome to see that at the time I was watching this was listed as the #1 series on Netflix in the UK, which does show there is still interest in dinosaur media amongst people. So hopefully we'll be getting more.
Also on kids, so hey, there's probably some dino nerds or maybe some of the Dinosaurs saw that, you know, wink wink. If you like the documentary, you know, you'll probably like this. And probably for, you know, some Dinosaurs aren't even, you know, dino fans and like my other content. You know, to be honest, other besides of me naming, you know, obviously this channel after a real life dinosaur, you know, it's kind of the whole reason why this channel is built off dinos, you know. Like before, like, you know, the films, the shows, the media and all. Like before I started all that, it all started with these guys. But let's get back to the video. Sorry,
okay, so let's get to the positives. Yeah. As I mentioned earlier, we're finally getting a look into other Mesozoic time periods, which gives us the opportunity to see so many other species of dinosaurs and non-dinosaurs that normally get underrepresented.
Yeah, and also, early crocodiles. Excuse me, guys. Anyways, hey guys, I'm back. Excuse me. Anyways, hey, I'm back. Come back to continue the video. And sorry, guys, that I left earlier. It's just that I was a little hungry and I don't know. I decided to go eat lunch. My lunch upstairs, and also for some reason some random person was calling me. I'll cut that part out the video. Anyways, hey, let me get back.
In the 90s.
Yeah. What the frick is that dinosaur?
Diplodocus.
Yeah, I mainly call most of these dinos like, the long neck dino family, you know. Dinosaurs that had long, obviously. No, you obviously already know what type of dinosaurs I'm talking about. I'm not gonna tell you, alright? I'm not your mom.
Supersaurus.
But one thing I was surprised at is that out of all the dinosaurs shown, one dino I did think was missing was Coelophysis. Like,
well, I don't really give a damn about that dino, but I don't know. It kind of looks like when those like
segment and not include Coelophysis. Is that even allowed? God,
like so early compies or something, you know, like compies. Like, yeah. Really compy. So, anyways, back to the video.
Dinos. I like how the documentary does point out Dilophosaurus' size.
And it actually makes it look pretty scary. Like, hey, to be honest, when I first saw these, I was actually scared to freak out of seeing that not all dinosaurs were all, family friendly. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. Not everyone was like happy you got a friend in me. Randy Newman, Rex style. All right. Some dinosaurs were vicious blood killers. Dinosaurs are kind of like humans. Some humans are good and some humans are bad. So yeah.
Because thanks to Jurassic Park, a lot of people think the Dilo was pretty small, when actually that's not the case at all. I don't know why they downsized it so much in the movie, as even the book...
probably to make it feel like not probably less darker than the book.
Has it portrayed as full size, but whatever. Though, I gotta say, as cool as it is to see Dilo again, it's still not quite beating the one that was shown in When Dinosaurs Roam, which I argue still has the coolest...
yeah, not really. This dinosaur here screams early CGI Spider-Verse type animation. That probably looks worse. That would probably make the first Toy Stories animation look better. This looks like it's still in the drafts. No. What the frick was that roar? Let's hear it again.
The coolest roar of any given dinosaur.
I disagree with you, Stevie. What's this guy's name? Steve. Yeah, sorry. I disagree with you, Steve. It doesn't have a cool...
I argue still has the coolest roar of any given dinosaur.
Yeah, no. Pretty...
I love that they actually...
It just sounds like freaking Godzilla.
Of any
baby
dinosaur.
Godzilla. Baby Godzilla. Baby Godzilla. Baby Godzilla. Hey, it's baby Godzilla. Baby Godzilla.
I love that they roar of any given dinosaur.
No, that just looks like baby Godzilla, to be honest.
I love that they actually use the term Thagomizer.
And hey, Stegosauruses, hey, let's go. Hey, to be honest, these Stegosauruses are pretty cool. And this scenery with them,
I love that they actually use the term
right here,
Thagomizer
just felt like cinema.
For the steg. I love that they actually use the term Thagomizer for the Stegosaurus spikes, which, fun fact, these spikes didn't actually have an official name until a random comic panel in 1982, just simply called them Thagomizers as part of a gag. And since then, it just kind of stuck. Which I'm glad, as Thagomizer just sounds like such a badass word.
Well, to be honest, I usually just call them, the Stegosaurus spikes, since, I don't know, spikes is a lot more, normal way. I know Thagomizer or whatever. Thank God that's actually normal name. It's a little bit more cooler, but like I don't know. It's like it's cool with like a dino meme, like a Jurassic World meme or something. But like I don't know, like as like a name to call a dinosaur's battle system, I would kind of disagree. Not to be rude to the dude, but like. I don't know, just being honest, alright? That's it. Yeah, heck nah, bud. These are dinosaurs. Don't say that. This is freaking dinosaurs, bud. You can't be... Alright, is it over?
On a side note, I would say this is now looking...
Yeah, we're...
Oh, and on a side note, I would say this is now looking like a 4-0 win for the Stegosaurus versus Allosaurus matchup.
Confused and intimidated by the herbivore's display, the Allosaurus backs down.
Cooling down up to 8 times faster?
Since Stegosaurus is obviously thanks to their spikes.
Geico helps tailor your coverage to fit your business and bottom line. So, Greg, how good does it feel to save on your commercial auto insurance with Geico?
As good as having a great hammer.
You can't touch this.
Now I'm just waiting for the documentary which shows the Allosaurus that took a Thagomizer to the dick. No, seriously, that's an actual fossil. Allosaurus that took a Thagomizer to the dick.
Oh, dang.
No, seriously, that's an actual fossil. Oh, and speaking of herbivores being... No, seriously, that's an actual fossil.
Dang. Alright, children, if you saw that,
The Allosaurus that took a...
I'm sorry.
Thagomizer to the dick? No, seriously.
Sorry guys that I froze there for a bit. Just kind of shocked that something like that actually happened.
That's an actual fossil. Oh, and speaking of herbivores being badasses.
No, it was whatever. Anyways, hey, let's move from the traumatizing moment to cool moments of herbivores being, you know, more than just plant eaters. Actually being able to kill
so nice to see a hadrosaur actually fighting back for once. Normally they're the cannon fodder of the dino documentaries, but holy shit does this one absolutely body the quest. Dino documentary, a hadrosaur actually... And speaking of herbivores being badasses, man, it was so nice to see a hadrosaur actually fighting back for once. Normally they're the cannon fodder of the dino documentaries, but holy shit does this one absolutely body the quest.
Where do you think I'm going? The mighty Quetz, and you're just
Now, although you get to see a lot of dinosaurs, which is great, that is both the strength and the weakness of this show. As, yeah, you get to see a whole bunch of different dino varieties, but because there are only 4 episodes, you don't really get to spend much time with any given species. So you'll see a dinosaur that you really like and think, oh neat, can't wait to learn a bit more about this guy.
And it's gone.
And because...
Well, yeah, there is its weaknesses. Like, there's some dinosaurs that I saw in the documentary that I barely didn't even know. The only dinosaurs I knew were the Stegosaurus, and most dinosaurs I already know. I got to learn like a few like early relatives of the T-Rex, but I can't really remember their names. Only like the Snow Dino, the Snowrex, and I can't even say what the Snowrex's name was. I think it was Dinosaurs or something. I don't know. I can't remember. So I would agree, but that is the weakness of this dog.
You're spending so little time with each dinosaur. You don't really get to build up much of a narrative with each.
Well, except the Spinosaurus. To be honest, that one Spinosaurus scene of the Spinosaurus getting the shark and the shark like drifting away and it baiting fish, and then once the shark ate it, it ate like the Spinosaurus ate the shark. Like that was freaking cinematic, and how like, you know, modern day some birds took some and lizards took that note and actually uses it in like their modern day way of hunting.
But the show does try to build a narrative in a different sense, with mixed results. So rather than look at the story of individual dinosaurs, we instead look at the story of the dinosaurs as a collective. I did like how we followed the journey of dinosaurs from their small beginnings in the Triassic to their rise in the Jurassic, and their global dominance and eventual fall in the Cretaceous. But the way the story is conveyed is kind of dumb in places. In the beginning, there's the narrative set of how the dinosaurs are being oppressed by the older reptiles, and we see how the dinosaurs slowly grow and grow to challenge them.
The ancient reptiles have terrorized the dinosaurs from the beginning, but that ends now.
It's a little bit weird of phrasing, considering that dinosaurs are themselves also technically reptiles.
Well, yeah, but you get the point, alright? So, the early reptiles challenges, you get the point, alright? Even with dinosaurs being birds and lizards, but you get the point, alright? Early dinosaurs challenged the... You get the point, alright? There's dinosaurs and crocodile. Or in better terms, I like to call it like early crocodiles went up against dinosaurs. So I think that's a better way.
I don't know why the narration suggests that they were separate. They also talk of dinosaurs splitting into 2 factions, the herbivores and carnivores, and how they will now be at war with each other for the foreseeable future.
Over time, a fierce rivalry will grow between 2 great dinosaur clans.
And there's this constant theme of how...
Well, yeah, it kind of treats them like the, you know, Autobots and Decepticons. Like, the Autobots are the herbivores and the Decepticons are the carnivores. Not really disrespect. Look, I know some of my favorite dinosaurs are carnivores, and not all of them are bad, so It's more like, I would say the Autobots are the carnivores and the herbivores are the Decepticons, but it's like a whole complex thing. I don't know what the dude that voiced Retrievous from the Lego movie did.
Primitive and obsolete,
like, what the fuck?
And they're simply getting bested by their new evolution.
Well, yeah, the pterodactyls, they got attacked by, like, I guess, early birds.
And they're simply getting...
Yeah, these just look like basically just early birds.
Invested by their new evolution. It actually gives me similar vibes to the whole Walking with Monsters thing. I get how it's done to give the show a bit more of a story, but in reality, evolution and survival is a lot more complicated than just simply old is weak and new is stronger. And some scenes really reach the bit for this. Weak and new is stronger. And some scenes really reach the bit for this. Such as the scene of a small reptile slowly starving to death because it can't reach the trees. Are you telling me there was literally no other food source for it to eat? Why is it even in a forest in the first place if it can't reach the trees? And then we get a shot showing how all the other members of its species have also died as a result.
Maybe that's just bad writing.
Like, what, did they all just starve at the exact same time? I get it's done for a more dramatic shot, but it honestly comes across as more goofy than anything. And then near the end, where we get the Mother Rex caring for her young, it says at how dinosaurs have come a long way since the days of the Triassic, when the young were left to fend for themselves.
Safelight can do just about anything your windshield needs, right in your driveway. Go to safelight.com.
Without T-Mobile 5G home internet, this place is spooky. Let's just start T-Mobile home internet delivery.
Now you can get the fastest 5G home internet with same-day delivery, powered by DoorDash.
See, nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, I'm skipping this.
Our little ones are well fed.
Go ahead, at least there's a baby mama T-Rex caring for her young.
Something their distant
ancestors that's cute.
Could only dream of.
Like, is it meant to be a character arc for them? Like, after 150 million years, they finally decided that they were going to become good parents? Even though there's fossil evidence of dinosaurs that have died with their young? It just felt like a very unnecessary thing to try and convey. Another issue I had with the narrative is how repetitive it could feel, such as with all the natural disasters. I do like how we get some light shone upon other extinction events outside of the usual KT, but it did start to feel a bit formulaic after a while.
What did you say?
The usual KT, but it did start to feel a bit formulaic. Other extinction events outside of the usual KT.
Well, I think mainly what dude's talking about is, besides from the usual, you know, when the meteor hit the Earth and the dinosaurs went extinct and blah 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 blah, volcano started, Ice Age started, dinosaurs were gone, and then the Ice Age started. Boom. After, you know, the Earth and... Oh, let me just say this in solar ball terms. After Earth recovered from his loss of losing the dinosaurs, he then recovered and became cool, and then all the volcano atmosphere became dust, and then the Earth went back to normal, froze a bit, and then the Ice Age came. Blah, 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 Ice Age. So yeah, that's basically what I'm talking about.
It did start to feel a bit formulaic after a while, as we'll visit a time period, see a few dinosaurs, then some sort of natural disaster will happen, which will kill a bunch off, we'll cut forward in time, and then rinse and repeat. There were also some bits of comedy thrown in.
Well, at least I'd say that the ending part where the dinosaurs did get hit by the asteroid was pretty epic.
Which can always be a delicate thing to implement when you're trying to present a more serious documentary type show. But for the most part, I actually think it worked okay. Two moments I particularly remember liking are the Spino, as it's trying to remain motionless when hunting in the water, and then suddenly a pterosaur lands on its sail and starts jiggling about. And the Spino just gives it this look of like, I will fuck you up right now. And then in this other moment, when the Rex is dragging the body of an Anki, the Pachycephalosaurus witnesses this and is just like, you know what, nah, I'm gonna head out. Then there are some other comedic moments that do come across as a bit too silly, like at how the Preconsognathus is trying to intimidate the Plateosaurus. I'm pretty sure they would just bitch slap him into oblivion. The series also like to do this deception-perception thing, where the camera will build up this dinosaur to be a massive predator, only to reveal that it's actually tiny. They did this first with the predator deception thing, where the camera will build up this dinosaur to be a massive predator, only to reveal that it's actually tiny. They did this first with the Preconsognathus, which was like, Cute. Then they clearly really like this joke, as they go on to do it a couple more times, and at that point,
they did it with the early penguins.
Getting a bit old.
Just once. Yeah, this was Skipper and Private's ancestors. Their great-great-grandpa, Mr.
Times, and at that point, it was just getting a bit old.
Feathers. Yeah, that was their grandpa. And this was early penguins. Yep. It's crazy how much they changed. The only thing you can tell from a penguin is the body of a penguin and the beak of a penguin. But that's it. Oh, yeah. So, let me get up Google here. It's completely different from, you know, what you expect of a penguin. Early penguin. See, that's the early penguins. That's what Private, Rico, and all the Madagascar penguins' ancestors look like. A monster bird. Dang, penguins weren't like that. I don't know, but to be honest, what was the height of these birds? I don't know. I expect that they were as harmless as normal penguins are present day. To humans, what were they to humans? Than an average human. Dang. What the frick is this? Dang. Wow. These don't look like penguins. They look like freaking creepypasta. What are those things? Dang. This was a penguin's ancestor? Dang. Yeah, frick. Yeah, the one thing that this is mostly connected is to a dinosaur. Well, I know that dinosaurs are obviously birds. Or dinosaurs are obviously relatives to lizards and birds, but like, I don't know. This one looks like a dinosaur, but like it missed the part. Like it looks freaking creepy. Like, you know, I'm just gonna say it's like, I would understand this is like a freaking Therizinosaurus or a dinosaur. Like, obviously. Well, you know what, whatever, but hey, I think you just stop looking at this freaking weird dinosaur, just freaking bird, yeah. You know what? I think after taking a look at early penguins, you know what? I think I appreciate normal penguins more better. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God penguins became this and became, you know, the friendly, iconic, epic birds that they are today. Oh, you know what? After seeing this song, it makes me appreciate these little guys even more. Like, hey, nah, that's a penguin, buddy. That's a penguin. Cute, adorable, funny, epic penguins. No, it even makes me appreciate the Madagascar penguin gang even more. Seeing that their ancestors look like freaking freaking this, man. I bet if these guys saw what their ancestors looked like, they'll be like, Skip would be like, what the frick is that thing? Bro, they would be just freaking shocked. And, you know, obviously since, you know, penguins, they're descendants of dinosaurs, I would expect that. But, like, I don't know, like, you know, I didn't really expect birds to try to look like dinosaurs instead of birds trying to be like birds. Whatever, hey, at least it makes me appreciate, you know what, the Madagascar penguin gang and penguins in general. And, like, you know, appreciate these little guys. What you can do? I wanna celebrate. And even one way of the Penguins of Madagascar movie. And it's crazy that I'm freaking talking about the Penguins of Madagascar movie. Like freaking dinosaurs. But you know what? Penguins are ancestor of dinosaurs. So wait, these guys make a. Plus, I think I need to recover after seeing early penguins. I regret. You know what? I think compared to dinosaurs and penguins, well, now penguins like normal. Now penguins would like freaking just look normal. No, hey, normal dinosaurs would just look. Excuse me. Excuse me. Pretty normal. To me. Anyways, hey,
there
back
were
to
also
this.
several moments.
So, hey, you know.
And at that point, it was just
these early birds. Thank God. Thank God, penguins became what penguins did today. There were
also several
let's get back to
this that felt awfully cliche and predictable. Like in the opening scene where this rival male hacky comes to fight the current alpha, and just as he's looking all victorious and about to deliver the finishing blow, Rex comes out and snatches it. There was this other scene with a giant pterosaur chasing these small sauropods.
Yeah, these baby brachiosaurs.
We've got the little long neck dodging his strikes. He runs to find a cave to hide in. The pterosaur decides to leave, and so the little guy immediately goes out to check if the coast is clear. He looks back at the others and even gives a soft grunt to be like, yeah guys, it's all good. And of course, he then gets snatched away. It's so textbook. And speaking of cliches, snatched away.
Hey, to be honest, these dinosaurs kind of look like, you know, the dinosaurs from the Good Dinosaur. This is like Papa.
So good.
Papa from Good Dinosaur is like, come on, Arlo, let's go find that spot boy.
Of course.
And then he gets eaten by the Disney Dino Riders, or a dinosaur from the Disney movie Dinosaur. And then he's like, oh! And then Arlo's like, Dad, Papa, come back.
And speaking of
freaking hysterical. I'm sorry. Just, I don't know. To be honest, Arlo's dad's death scene's kind of, not to be rude, like it's emotional, but it's kind of generic.
Cliches.
Like, I don't know.
I've seen a lot of people saying that this series feels very much like the original Walk with Dinosaurs, but I'd actually say it's closer to the series of When Dinosaurs Roam. Walking with Dinosaurs had more of a narrative focus on a particular animal and their story of survival in that episode, whereas When Dinosaurs Roam would give us snippets of dinosaurs' lives as we jump through in different points of history. And that's pretty much what this documentary is.
I think Walking with the Dinosaurs
much like the original Walking with Dinosaurs, but I'd actually say it's closer to the series of When Dinosaurs Roam.
I think the original Walking with the Dinosaurs did this whole documentary thing with, of course, dinosaurs, I think, better. But I don't hate this documentary even more. At least I can admit, at least this is better. This documentary is probably better than the entirety of Dominion. Yep, Jurassic World Dominion. I'll even say a little bit of Rebirth, because, I don't know, the whole D-Rex thing didn't really even go anywhere. Like, I don't know, the D-Rex here, he just looks like freaking Megamind, but if they turn him into a dinosaur. It's Megam!
Had more of a narrative focus on a particular animal and their story of survival in that episode, whereas When Dinosaurs Roam would give us snippets of dinosaurs' lives, survival in that episode. Had more of a narrative focus on a particular animal and their story of survival in that episode.
Yeah, like a dinosaur, like for example, focusing on like a group of compies, or like one group of like brachiosauruses, or a group of like just a group of like any dinosaur, and then like crazy how big brachiosaur, like a modern day.
Were more of a narrative focus
Plus these baby dinosaurs
on a
so
particular
cute.
animal and their story of survival in that episode. Dinosaurs had more of a narrative focus on a particular animal.
Yeah, and plus did the story better. Well, like this just felt like Back to the Future, but I guess if the riders were on cocaine and we're like, yeah, let's continue riding, and like we're just on drugs. That's it. So basically, the original one just felt like normal people just making a story about a group of dinosaurs each episode trying to survive the age of dinos. Well, like this one, Rome with the Dinosaurs, is like if the riders were on drugs and were just, riding along the story and did Back to the Future riding style, but like, since they were on drugs, they like went whatever. They just sped up it and just went insane. That's all I'm gonna say. That was it. That was good.
Bits of dinosaurs' lives as we jump through in different points of history. And that's pretty much what this documentary is doing. Though in saying that, I can definitely see moments in this series that felt particularly inspired by the original Walking With series, such as the time-travelling back scene in episode 1. This shot of the plesiosaur reminded me of the like Pleurodon shot. The birds driving away, the shot of the plesiosaur reminded me of the like Pleurodon shot.
Yeah, the plesiosaur. Well, hey, and to be honest, I can admit, at least the water dinosaurs in the show, they were just really just chilling. Well, like the land and even air dinos were like just constantly in some Transformers war. The water dinos, they were just really chilling. Like the water dinosaurs here, they were just really chilling. Water dinosaurs, they're just really chilling. Like the plesiosaur. Yeah, plesiosaurs would go to. Anyways, they talk about plesiosaurs. I kind of want to talk about the whole Loch Ness monster thing, where like someone says that the Loch Ness monster might be a plesiosaur, which may make sense. I don't know. The whole thing of it being like some random beast, but like the best way to explain it is that it's just the plesiosaur. Especially the original shot here. Now, even I learned, something about, other sea beasts. Especially even, I'm not gonna get, like, somewhere here in America, I'm not gonna state, where, but, like, there's another beast called Nessie. I don't know what Nessie is, but, like, Nessie is like she's like another sea beast. She's like the Loch Ness monster, but like more of like the mascot for like the Chesapeake Bay. Mascot. Yeah, that's better for the Chesapeake Bay. Yeah, here the Chesapeake Bay with Nessie. So Nessie's just basically just the American. Well, or never mind. It's like Chessie. Oh, never mind, it's Chessie. So, Chessie. Dang, Chessie. Shoot, how do you say this thing? It's like it's Chessie. Let me see how to spell freaking Chessie's name. Is it Chessie? Oh, saying that, I'm not gonna say it's inappropriate. It just sounds like I'm not gonna say it. Alright, I've already gone to a freaking dinosaur's private part getting beat up by a stegosaurus. I'm not traumatizing anyone. Alright, shoot. Let me just pull up Google search. Google Translate. Bingo. Alright. See what this animal's name is.
Chessie. Chessie.
A Chessie?
Chessie. 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 Chessie.
Yeah, Chessie. So, to be honest, this beast's name kind of sounds like Chelsea, but if you move the LC, so Chelsea. So, this is the beast that expired. Sorry, people in frickin' yeah. It's like, oh, help the Chesapeake Bay. Like, I kind of get the name, but like, it's crazy that this creature, you know, basically, you get the point. Chessie, she's basically the American version of the Loch Ness Monster. And this could kind of make sense. Like, what if Chessie is the same thing as the Loch Ness Monster? Like, just think about it. They both have long necks. They both swim around the ocean. They could be the two last plesiosaurs. Just think about it. The last two plesiosaurs. Look, I know I'm going whole YouTube conspiracy backroom thing. I'm not gonna really go too deep since don't want to forget that this is a video about a documentary about freaking dinosaurs instead of me making a theory on how one dinosaur survived the extinction of. But it could be true. The Loch Ness Monster could be the same as Chessie. It could just be the same beast. Maybe it's just the Loch Ness Monster going around in America. I don't know, but like, you know what? I'm not gonna get too bonkers since, you know, I think these weather people who are like.
Wait, you don't write anything down after conversations?
Great.
This is Pocket.
Great AI slop. Can you stop? You're not a real person. Is it over? Yeah, video about not a plesiosaur.
I don't take a strong stance on what Chessie might be. It could really be most anything. If I had to guess, I think a prehistoric whale with a slender body, I think fits the profile. And I think that also fits the profile of a lot of sea serpents all over the world.
Sea serpents, well, but I don't think that's a whale, because coming from this image, this could be just a river snake, or I don't know. Like, you get the point. Anyways, hey, whatever. Continue on for the
birds driving away, the pterosaur felt like a reminiscence of the scene of Giant of the Skies, right down to the birds' colouring and the fact that it's their nesting season. And the mosasaur grabbing the dino out of the water reminds me of the amphibian and fish from...
Or, especially, mainly reminds me of, like...
And the mosasaur grabbing the dino out.
Yeah, here, bro, that scene with the mosasaur, bro, it just reminds me of the scene where the main mosasaur in that movie freaking jumped and ate the Indominus Rex. That's it. Excuse me. It even has the same vibe. Excuse me, but just being honest.
The water reminds me of the amphibian and fish from Walking the Monster. The narration of this series is done by Morgan Freeman. You may recognize him from previous narration works, such as the Spider-Man Super Story series.
A rubber glove sandwich.
The frick is this garbage?
Hard to bite.
Not dinosaur dog. Alright, you get the point what I'm saying.
Impossible to
what the frick?
Morgan
Get
Freeman
this, thank you.
Well, Morgan Freeman.
Well, Morgan Freeman's Morgan Freeman. I was even complaining about him earlier. He, like, went to complete end, and, like, when a dinosaur was coming and when someone's gonna say, like, the dino nerd way to say their name and all that, he said, like, some British way. He was like, blah, blah, blah. Like, but sounded like a freaking computer AI. Not really, but he sounded like a human that had no emotion when talking about it. Like, but, like, have emotion. Do something. Like, but if you're able to put in a lot of passion into, like, a freaking Lego figure of yours that died in, like, before the climax of the Lego movie, then, like, I don't know, I don't know. Maybe it was just bad writing. It's Morgan Freeman. I was expecting something more.
Much to say about his narration, other than it has a very Morgan Freeman feel to it.
It's time to charm her with his deep, sultry humming.
But there are some moments where his pronunciations of things do feel a little off, particularly with his pronunciation of Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, call mainly just Steggy.
Pachycephalosaurus. I know there are some sort of differentiations when it comes to dinosaur name pronunciations. I've probably said at least one in this review that you would say differently. But I have never once heard anyone refer to this as Pachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, it's morely Pachycephalosaurus. That's mainly what I would call it. Not the other way around. Like, has this Bud even seen his dinosaurs? I'm just saying, because it seems like Bud just saying random British words to get a paycheck and then leave. It feels like he recorded this at his house. Or, like, at, like, some voice... Like, hey, so, like, anyone that's seen a Toy Story, like, you know, like, interview of Tom Hanks in, like, Toy Story 2. Where, like, he mainly said, like, voice acting was mainly just being in, like, a black room. Or, like, in a room where, like, you're voice acting. I don't know. Kind of less same thing with me when I'm just talking in my videos. But, like, anyways, hey, while he was, like, saying that, I think that's the same thing what Morgan Freeman did, or whatever. I think I should stop complaining.
Like, during recording, did no one want to chime in and request for another take? Or did they try? And Morgan just looked at them and said, "Fuck you, I'm Morgan Freeman." I also do feel a bit conflicted when they use high-profile celebrities.
Morgan Freeman's like, "I'm Morgan Freeman. Do what I do or I'll be kidnapping your daughter." Please, Morgan Freeman, if you're seeing this video, please don't sue me for saying that, alright? I already got YouTube on my behind, and I already got Disney trying to freaking copyright every single part of a video that has a slinger reference to anything they own. Alright. Please, like, I already have enough, you know, I already have enough, like, snakes chasing after me, or, like, more like just predators. So, you get the point. I already have enough people chasing after me. Okay?
Used to do narrations for these documentaries. I get they're designed as more of a pull for mainstream audiences, but then I also just wonder at how much of the budget went on the narration alone, and whether that could have been instead.
Probably a lot. But hey, I can at least say, hey, the shot of the dinosaurs walking in a stampede looks pretty epic. Like, looks pretty epic. Looks cinematic. All the dinosaurs walking. And some dinos eating some leaf. It's pretty cool.
Got other areas such as the visuals. But again, I'm not hating on him. I think he does a fine enough job. And hey, I guess it also meant that he was able to earn another freckle.
Every time I show up and explain something, I earn a freckle.
But yeah, speaking of visuals, let's talk about the animation.
I don't know. Well, that's just a South Park joke. Because always every single joke of Morgan Freeman is either, well, Robot Chicken, that's a different story. I'm not going to go into it. But, like, with South Park, it's just about how old he about how old. Just how old he is. But whatever, let's get back to the down ducking.
But then there are also some really nice shots scattered throughout. It's not quite on the level as Prehistoric Planet, but I mean, I think Prehistoric Planet just kind of spoiled us and set the bar exceptionally high, so I don't want to knock it too hard for not being able to be quite on that level.
And a cool early, I was about to say tier. I meant turtle. Cool early turtle. That turtle definitely does look ugly. Looks alien. It less looks like scary than that penguin that makes me appreciate now penguins, but this
I will say, I do think the CG... He looks better than that of Walking with Dinosaurs 2025.
Yeah. What the frick? But I'm not gonna say it was even on
They
that
seem to use a
dinosaur's head.
combination of real world backgrounds and some CG ones too, which I think for the most part work pretty well.
Yeah.
The CG animals do have interactions with the...
This whole swamp scene was just dinosaurs for family. I'm just gonna say this, getting their freak on, or getting their dating Shrek on. You know, the mating. I'm just gonna say that, mating.
For the most part work
in the swamp right here. Freaky out dino.
The CG animals do have interactions with the real, which I think for the most part work.
And this dinosaur, I think it's moaning too much.
Pretty well.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get back to that. It's making me feel uncomfortable. Why do I keep making? Why does this dinosaur? Gotta stop. Gotta stop making this uncomfortable. This is a freaking dinosaur documentary.
The CG animals do
Anyways, let's get back to it. And hey, we get to these all like early lizard-like
dinos. In the real world, such as making footprints and kicking up dust. Though I did notice a couple of instances where this wasn't quite on point.
And like some early crocodiles like chasing some baby T-Rexes or baby dinos. Freaking sand, but like, I don't know, but this was like freaking early Earth. Earth was...
The use of camera angles falls into a bit of a middle ground. It's not quite as static and documentary focused as, say, the original Walking with Dinosaurs or When Dinosaurs...
Well, here it does look good, but this like screams our early CG Toy Story looking animation, just before Spider.
Roamed. Also not quite as dynamic as some of the shots that we saw in Walking with Dinosaurs 2025 or Planet Dinosaur. If there's one word I could use to describe this series, it would be cinematic. There are some really nice shots and angles used.
Yeah, this shot, it looks cool. You know, we got Arlo's family and it looks pretty scary. Quetzalcoatlus trying to murder Arlo's family. Arlo's family being idiots hurtling together, and then this Quetzalcoatlus eats them all. So that's the end of this.
One of my favourite being how the camera looks through the dino crests. And I love this moment where the Rex briefly appears during the lightning strike in the background. And boy, was this cinematic effect used more than ever for the final asteroid hit. I don't think I've ever seen any other documentary do it quite as emotional as this. The sauropods getting swamped by the earthquake look like something straight out of the Land Before Time.
Innovation in
Dang, Bud's kind of right.
American
ironic while this was happening with some Scientist Beach. Alright, you know Scientist Beach. I already know you're waiting for the part where we get to the real life present day stuff where people dig up dinosaur bones and we talk about Steven Spielberg for 10 minutes. Like, I like Steven Spielberg, but like, stop with your fan fictions of him, alright? You acting no different than those people that disrespecting Steven Hillenburg and treat his death like freaking, like, disrespect him and try to have freaking inappropriate stuff with a dead poor, like, with a random, like, with a dead man, and like act like he was like not like flawed. Of course he was flawed. He made mistakes, but like he learned, and that's what made him learning SpongeBob more. But like, I don't know, to be honest, let me just say this, yeah. And also, whatever, you know what, let me stop.
Reducing, reusing,
yeah, blah,
and
blah, blah.
So you recycle.
Yeah, okay, randomly. Yeah, manufacturing, okay. Which could, you know, I'm not gonna say anything else. I'm not making this.
Walmart called. They wanted Suarez. Not as a player, as a fan. If they could turn a rookie like Suarez into a super fan, then anyone could become a great fan.
Alright, I don't care.
The slow dying.
Oh yeah, but it's right. Anyways, let's now get back to the actual dinosaur documentary instead of weird people that have parasocial relationships with random celebrity people.
Earthquake look like.
Anyways, now let's get into this part. Now this part I do agree with, but it does look like something out of Land Before Time.
The slow dying of the T-Rex, the Ankylosaurus slowly burning alive, the mother hadrosaur dying alongside their young. It's absolutely tragic. And I love this shot of the burning forest where the Pachy and the T-Rex encounter each other, and they just simply ignore one another. And then there's that final shot at the end where we start getting the cutting back and forth of modern birds and dinosaurs, which syncs up their movements and behaviours, really driving home the message that birds are in fact dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
back and forth of modern birds and dinosaurs, which syncs up their movements and behaviors, really driving home the message that birds are in fact dinosaurs.
That's true, and lizards too. So before he gets to the end of this video, and this video does of course come to its end, just a reminder for those people that next time you look at your bird or your KFC sandwich, remember that Chick-fil-A sandwich you're eating is a dinosaur remain. So when you're eating your Chick-fil-A sandwich, remember you're eating a dinosaur, or a relative of a dinosaur. So I don't know, do whatever you want, okay? I don't really care. Also, the next time you look at your lizard, remember that lizard used to dominate the earth. And sometimes we, say, with your turtle, I don't know, maybe when someone gets a pet lizard, I don't know, you can name your turtle Spino. So, yeah, I don't really care. Do whatever you want. I'm not your parent.
As for the dinosaur designs, overall I thought they were fine. There were some I did quite like, such as the snake-like design of the Lilian sternus. I loved the feather patterns on this Ankylorus, and I thought the Spino did look cool. Only designs that did kinda irk me were that of the Allosaurus. It just looks incredibly dull and generic compared to other designs that we've seen before. Not to mention this one that has a two-face-like appearance going on with it. I also wasn't quite sold on the dorsal plate texture of the steg appearance going on with it. I also wasn't quite sold on the dorsal plate texture of the steg appearance going on with it. I also wasn't quite sold on the dorsal plate texture of the Stegosaurus. They look a bit like waffles. I think I also noticed a couple of practical effects too. Such just a Spino's jaw when it's fishing in the water.
Sorry, kind of zoned out for a bit. Whatever. Anyways, so I was just kind of thinking of and how the practical effects here were he was kind of right, but his baby down does look pretty cute, but I don't know, they kind of look a little ugly.
I noticed a couple of practical effects too, such as the Spino's jaw when it's fishing in the water, along with the Ankylosaurus carcass. So that's pretty awesome. It's fishing in the water, along with the Ankylosaurus carcass. So that's pretty awesome. But yeah, overall, I'd say I really enjoyed this series. I know I've given a lot of nitpicks here, but that's kind of my style. I'm a bit of a nitprick. But honestly, I would recommend checking this documentary out. It's fun, entertaining, and most importantly, gives you plenty of dino action. I do think this is more of a casual documentary, probably more aimed at people who aren't overly familiar with dinosaurs, and perhaps even a slightly younger audience who may be introduced to them through this. But I don't mean that as a negative. I think it's great to have something which can offer a shallow depth of knowledge for a wide variety of dinosaurs.
And generally for people that, don't have a YouTube channel named after a dinosaur, or people that aren't generally into dinos. So, yeah, people like that.
The dino that they like.
And this is the Dilophosaurus shot looks pretty cool.
Basically this documentary.
And the shot here looks something straight out of Ice Age. Like, the first Ice Age movie, before Blue Sky became consumed with money, went downhill with Ice Age, and then after that, Disney now...
Which is a dino gateway drug.
And kill.
And we'll give it an overall score of 7.5 out of 10.
To be honest, at the end of the day, I would say the beginning of the series is pretty cool with early dinosaurs. The middle half was pretty cool with early dinos. It got little too slow, but at the end, when they went extinct and like how dinosaurs are basically ancestors of birds, pretty good. So I'll give this show like probably an 8.9 out of 10, like an 8.9 stars. Pretty cool, but like, I don't know, if I want to see some real dino action, I can just go watch Fallen Kingdom if I want. But like, at the end of the day, it's not bad. Compared to whatever this is at least
bad. Let me know in the comments below if you checked out this series and what your thoughts are.
And heck no, I'm not checking out freaking Mating Season.
Wow. What's any other dino related media you think I should check out for the future? But until the next one, guys, take care.
I don't know, maybe like the next Jurassic film or something. But anyways, take care, and to infinity and beyond. And remember, next time you see a bird, that's a dinosaur.
When we hit the pothole, I worried we'd be stranded for hours.
And our lives would revolve around the pothole.
So that's basically, end of video. So the dinosaur documentary was not that bad. Pretty cool and all that. And I think the whole Chessie theory was pretty cool. But anyways, hey guys, anyways, bye guys, and send off the shop. Oh baby! My lord! So much dinosaurs have changed our world and Earth. Roar! To infinity and beyond.